Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm working on this old Chevy tonight. Fuel pump problem. Died at the side of the highway, and so I'm just swapping that out. A friend of mine put this thing together some years ago. He inherited it from his grandfather, I believe, and has since passed away himself, and now his son owns it. So I'm just helping them out. Always like working on these old trucks, especially pretty close family, and always happy to help them out. Only 30 pounds of pressure, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's got an LS, same thing as what's in the van, and so yeah, so changing the fuel pump. Of course, the sending unit, we ordered a complete sending unit and everything from Amazon. Cheap crap. And the pump was a little different. That's what's left of the locking ring there. I think I can make it work, but it's kind of ugly. Anyways, I'll show you what the pump looks like. So many projects. Again, don't judge me on the mess in here. I've got so much stuff going on all the time. Anyways, the original sender has a square plug. The new sender has this flat plug, and they give you this wiring harness that you're supposed to replace the original wiring harness with, or just splice into it, or whatever. The problem is that if ever you decide to switch your fuel pump or your sending unit again when this Chinese garbage breaks, you're stuck with the Chinese garbage plug on there. And I didn't like that, so I thought, I'm going to try to keep the original square plug, and it fits in the new sender. Fits perfectly. But the plug does not fit. Doesn't fit the old sender plug on the back here. And I was going to cut and solder and do all that stuff, and geez, it's a pile of work, and I don't like having exposed solder sitting in the gas, and I don't want to put, you know, shrink wrap on it because it's going to fall off and sitting in the gas, of course. So at this point, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and splice into the side of the original harness, but leave the original plug on there as well. Fill it with dielectric grease and tape it all up. So if ever down the road the young lad decides to burn out another pump, he'll be able to put an original one back in if it's not this type he replaces it with. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck. If you cut the original plug off, you know, you're going to be kind of screwed. So that's the plan. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this stuff is any good. It's what we're going with because it's cheap. But so heads up if you get these. And there's different types. This one's got that pressure sensor, or whatever you call it there. It's got this guy on it. So what I ended up doing here with this wiring harness here is I actually left the factory fuel pump plug on here, and I didn't cut the wire. I just pulled the casing back a little bit and soldered in the plug that they give you with that Chinese sending unit. That way, first we should be able to hook a factory pump back in there, no problem. In the future, we could even take this off and remove the clean up the solder and just use that pump. I did put some dielectric grease on top of the solder and then just tape the crap out of it, so nothing's gonna get in there for sure. So that's an idea if you guys are getting these cheap sending units, rather than switching over to the Chinese plug permanently, Like if you cut this one off, then if ever you go back to a Delco pump, or whatever it is that takes that square plug, you know, you're not screwed looking for a plug in a junkyard. So hopefully that solves the problem. It's not super easy to take out of there, so I'll let you guys know what happens. Right, fuel pump's in. Big friggin' mess, but fuel pump's in. Let's see if we have any fuel pressure. I don't know if you guys can see that. Key on. Cycle it a few times. Let's go see what we got. Well, 50 pounds just cycling the key. It's better than what it was before. I guess we'll fire it up and see what happens. Come on, baby. £45 right now. Sounds a whole lot better than what it did. Still only at about 45 pounds, but that could be my gauge, I guess. I didn't bleed the air out of it. Let's see here. Amazon special gauge too, so who knows. Got the, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's, oh, there we go. Bleed the air out of it. Go cycle the key again. Reading 45, but it goes to 55 when you're flog on it, so I'm going to say that's fixed. It is a beauty.